going on, everybody? This is JreedVick7, and I'm here tonight streaming The Witcher 3.
Never thought I'd live to see times like these.
Life's like an infant.
Prepare to witness wonders at the annual chivalric tourney.
So I've actually been playing parts of this for a few weeks, but it's been a little bit overwhelming. I mean, when you actually look at the map for this game, Beauclair, Tucson, I mean, this continent that is the Blood&Wine expansion is literally like an entirely new continent, so it's been a little bit of a trip trying to like learn everything and find all these new places, but it's been a really interesting experience, nice sort of mixtape a la to the single player experience. Let's see how fast travel. Again, I think the biggest hurdle with this game that it's like you kind of have to more so suspend your disbelief more than your traditional game is particularly for an open world game in this day and age. There's a lot of loading screens, and that can be a little bit cumbersome. But I mean, for me personally, I would say the experience you get on the other end of it is well worth the headaches of loading screens for how big this world is. I mean, this world is probably double the size of Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe triple, not counting the expansion.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Send your spies after me?
My watchers. Were something to go wrong, I could then arrive quickly to help.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity.
I generally try to keep the subtitles on when I play games with deep cutscenes, just because it's nice to be able to read the text for everything they're saying, just so you can like pick up on every word. Particularly with this game, I mean, CD Projekt Red, Witcher, this is a Polish studio, so it's like a lot with the accents and annex for everything. It's nice to be able to have that text format to be able to see exactly whatever's being said in that particular scene.
There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesham Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. This brought trouble on the entire species.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesham Mutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Tesham Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. 1 drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
The undertones of this particular expansion are like incredibly dark. I mean, it's like vampires and stuff. It's quite dark. So it's been, again, similar to the main game. It's been hard for me to put large amounts of time into this at once because of just the sheer darkness of the content. But it's still a lot of fun. A really great story so far.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger.
The funny thing with these games, I never actually look forward to like these giant
An ancient
boss
vampire
battles
dungeon.
and combat situations. I mean, I enjoy the combat mechanics in this game just in a vacuum, but
I feel honored.
the actual prospect of having to fight particularly like vampires and zombie type enemies is not something I really enjoy as much.
To open it.
It's kind of like a catch-22 considering the game is about a witcher who's essentially a mercenary who kind of does everybody's dirty work, so, you know.
How the hell?
Got an upgrade, let's upgrade some stuff.
It's an ancient form of...
Pro tip to anybody who hasn't played The Witcher 3 yet, constantly quick save.
protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire blood.
Tricky mechanisms. A vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once. Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our well into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care. This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent reading them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Again, I try to quick save every couple of minutes, every time I like do a bunch of things. I don't really feel like having to do a second time if I die somewhere.
Hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us of where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed. Though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly strange particular page from my history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Again, another quick save.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Detlav's. We both remain.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well. You see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Okay, so I'm going to be curious to see whatever this fight I'm about to have to do very shortly is going to be just a straight up boss battle or like a group of enemies. I actually do not know the answer, so this will be fun to kind of see how this plays out.
One left. Think this will work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick I wager it carries clear to no blood.
Alright, I'll do one more quick save and then it's now time to do this.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also, my head started spinning.
That the blood?
It's about to go down.
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what did you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm it down. Somehow.
Please. You won't be able to. We must force through this.
They just have smelled the blood.
Okay, so far this isn't too bad. This is somewhat manageable. Okay, so I'm getting wrecked in this fight and I pretty much used all my potions, so I have to use white honey to clear my toxicity so I can use more equipment.
Hold on, I'll let you out.
Okay, so I'm officially almost out of health, so let's try to put in some new potions. Barely made it through that section.
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
Okay, so that section wasn't as bad as I anticipated it would be. I didn't have to fight some giant boss battle that would bring me to an edge, within an edge of my life, so not too bad.
Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. and some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told
Like in
you.
these RPGs with heavy text, I think the biggest metagame is like how much of the dialogue do you skip and how much do you listen to. So it's like this conversation is really like pertinent to the overall narrative of what the entire expansion Blood and Wine is actually about. So it's like a battle to kind of like
Resonance. It's
listen and try to understand what's going on, but also like skip over the innocuous stuff. It's a never-ending battle with a game like Witcher 3, which probably has 1700 pages of dialogue.
some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
Somehow he doesn't notice the giant claw behind him.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Dettlaff? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh?
For those tuning in, this is the flashback of someone I'm actually looking for. This is his memories I'm looking at the moment. He's actually the one in the black leather coat, Dettlaff. He's the primary antagonist of the Blood and Wine expansion as of now. We're on a mission to find
a
him.
yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
Awake at last. You writhe like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear that your death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him. Still killed him. Chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury. Remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Dettlaff I know. See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Dettlaff. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Dettlaff.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
Well,
Where you Ow!
Again, the way this city is designed is like really fascinating. I mean, just beyond the scale and scope of how beautiful this open world is, just the way everything is laid out is really, really interesting. It actually reminds me a lot of Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings in terms of the way the city skews upward, uphill, and there's like levels on levels on levels. Really, really interesting design choices.
Banquets and wine.
I could have actually fast traveled to where I wanted to go to, but I like to sometimes just run around this world and just kind of inhabit it a little bit. Same thing as like Grand Theft Auto and other games like that, Skyrim. I'm not usually trying to fast travel everywhere I possibly could.
To slaughter members of the history of Toussaint French. Homes, hewn or otherwise, a hecatomb at the Doran Alma estate.
A fruitful hunt to you, Witcher.
Witcher. I love the way the locals say Witcher with that accent. Master Witcher.
The best steel in all of Toussaint.
Thank you.
No, see you later. Fair folk.
Before I go try to continue doing this mission, I actually want to see about some bombs.
What do you got there?
And there's just a lot of little ancillary parts of this game I've sort of neglected over time. So it's like a lot of the bombs that are quintessential, I haven't really upgraded them or done what I needed to do to them. So I'm going to begin the process of doing that now. Of course, just my luck he doesn't make bombs. Okay, so we're done here.
So,
So I guess I'm gonna have to fast travel to get to where I want to go.
All is in order.
Oh, you don't mean
It's kind of fun to bump people out of the way. It's like a little bit more fun than it should be to be rude to people in video games. Alters your sensibilities for what kindness is, just a little bit. Again, for a game running on the Xbox One, again, just appreciate just the textures and the draw distances. You can see a little bit of the muddiness and the choppiness that you can see like on a technical level where it's kind of hitting its constraints, but at the same time, like the fact that they got this game to run on this console is in and of itself just a massive achievement. On top of just like the sheer technicality of like this expansion right now. I mean, look how huge this is. This whole entire area. I mean, this is just incredible design work. Shout out to CD Projekt Red. I mean, just amazing game, amazing expansion so far. So yeah, currently I'm ignoring the checkpoint I'm supposed to be going to, like I said, because I'm about to see about some bombs. I'm not really worried about the story mission at the moment. Okay, so where do I want to go? Attorney grounds.
Like it.
Okay, so for some reason the blacksmith has 11,000 gold. Not bad, not bad at all. Good day at the office. Even though unfortunately he's actually not, he can't help me with what I'm looking for, so on we go.
Vanity band. Music to a smithy's ears.
Your boots could use some polish, vagrant.
Alright, let's see if the armor can help me out.
Craft something for.
Okay, so he actually can't help me out either. Okay, so this is one of the biggest things about this game that I always tout to people is when you need, it shows you everything you need when you want to make an item or enhance or create an enhanced version of an item. It shows you all the components you need for it, if you have them, how much of it you have, and then for anything you don't have, you can pin it. So I need foglit teeth. So I'm actually about to go back to him, and now I'm going to look at his inventory and see if he has foglit teeth. And if he does, it'll flash with like a yellow border around it.
Let's.
Yeah, he actually doesn't have what I'm looking for, but while I'm here, I might as well buy some repair kits. Nothing worse in this game than being out in the world in the wilderness with blunt gear because you can't repair your stuff and you don't have repair kits, so that'll do. Now we'll go back to the other guy and see if he has what we're looking for.
Hammer, Enfield, Banity, Ban. Ah.
What?
And he doesn't have what I'm looking for either. Alright, so it'll have to wait. So in the meantime, I can go back and do quests.
So long.
Now we're gonna fast travel back to Tucson. Beauclair Port. Again, the loading screens with this game are really annoying, but like honestly, over time you kind of just get used to it. And for the most part, they're pretty reasonable. Like when you're just transitioning from place to place, it's generally pretty speedy. Whereas if you die in a boss battle or something, those loading screens can take a long time. It's the evening. Another one of the things that's like a big point of emphasis for me with this game, I really don't like doing stuff at night in this game. So I'm that anal person who will speed the time of the game up and meditate until it's morning again. I like to do all of everything I can do in this game in the morning, possible. Now sometimes they'll force you to do a mission at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, but everything I have a say in, I like to do during the daytime, preferably in the morning in this game.
So how would
It's
you
eerie and
explain
creepy
it?
enough as it
Whether
is, so I would
falls
rather
from
not
the
enhance it
sun
by
bakes
doing some of these
our
quests at
We're
night.
always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather. I've seen you. You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here.
Okay, now that was an awesome line. I'll conspire to wilt your bum with my belt. That was pretty awesome. Even the Polish kick ass. I love it.
His father, and you won't touch him. I won't let you.
Oh, poppycock. I knew his father. A grifter, a cheat, just like his brute.
I'll teach him honesty. He'll not leave muck at our shop door just to draw patrons to his own stall. So back away, drifter.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash
Question is,
you
do
as
I
well.
knock these guys out or
Which
do
is
I
all
kill
the
them?
same
Of course I
to
could
me.
just kill them. Of course I could just kill them.
Now, let's not do anything rash.
We'll break your legs.
Circle him!
Oh, they won't even give me the option to kill them. It's like I have to just knock them out.
Too late to surrender.
I'm taking way too many hits right now. Really don't want to get knocked out. Really don't want to go through the loading screen again. That's my motivation right now. Don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out. Come on, game. Just let me kill these guys. I'm a Witcher. Come on now.
Stay together! At least try to!
Killer for hire. Oh, they kind of threw me a bone. I see what they did.
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men, what are they doing?
I could be just a total asshole and just let them deal with these guys harshly, or I could. I normally do the noble thing. I'm gonna do the not noble thing for once. They beat me down.
Obstructing my investigation.
Understood. Right. A few days in the clink ought to teach them not to impede official duchy business. Come on.
Don't judge me, whoever's watching right now. Please don't judge me. I know I always go the noble, honorable, humble route with my Geralt of Rivia. Figured for once let's be an asshole.
Fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Yeah? How you imagine that working?
Splendidly. That's how. I suggest a partnership, where I see to the boots while you stand guard. And as you're the stronger, come morn you take the chamber pot out and help me make mud.
Bit about the mud's true? They were right to want to box your ears.
I've got to make a living somehow, so...
Right, get it how you live.
What say you, sir?
Thug life.
Partners?
Let me think about it. Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Oh, wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
This kid's a straight hustler. I give it to him.
But my boots are clean.
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stamp.
Gotta respect the hustle, the entrepreneurship in this kid. You gotta love it.
So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
An arrival? Indeed. I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and
Again, it's kind of
clear.
another juxtaposition in Catch-22. This kid cleans people's boots for a living, yet he has mud all over his face and he's pretty flimsy himself and dirty. Pretty ironic.
Fund my venture.
But again,
I'm sure
hardly
you can
knocking the
imagine.
hustle. Get your money, kid. Get your money.
Understand? With a big sign? I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
All right. Let's see.
Again, I could have been an asshole again and used my essentially force power to pay nothing. But again, this is normally the route I go. I normally do like the honorable thing, just like I was usually Paragon in Mass Effect back in the day.
Guess I can agree to that.
1,000 thanks. I shan't forget it. Now to the matter at hand.
Again, I can spare
know the
5,000. I
fellow
mean
you
500
see,
gold.
though I don't
You know,
know
I got
his
it
name.
like that.
A steady patron. Gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis. The air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I've the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort, and piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek lives.
But...
Everyone's a
you won't
hustler in
help
this
him, will
game.
you? The gentleman's art, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
Kid's a hustler. You gotta respect it. I mean, this is just beautiful, just young entrepreneurship in action. In real life, this kid would be starting some startup that eventually becomes Google or Microsoft.
Handled that kid pretty well.
Finding the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning the right thing to...
Actually. Again, we're about to use the white honey again so we can clear toxicity.
Drive them way
quick save.
Red door. One the bootblack mentioned.
We shall talk later.
Let's see what we find in here. Somehow I thought the door was going to say the prancing pony underneath the horses. I mean, clearly this isn't Lord of the Rings.
Pound on a drum and holler, Dettlaff, I'm coming for you. A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
This is a pretty creepy looking place.
He here. Sense him.
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around.
Again, for these extremely creepy moments, I was sort of hoping that the game would kind of do all of this within the cutscene, but, you know, obviously that was like a false dream.
No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Somebody fixed this recently.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket. Sometimes I think I might end up like one of these toys. Somebody fixed this recently.
Again, we're gonna do another quick save. Telling you folks, there's nothing worse in these games than dying in a combat situation and having to do whole segments of mundane chat and dialogue a second time. I've learned the hard way. That's why when I play these kinds of games, I typically always quick save constantly.
Dettlaff van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renowed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Dettlaff killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Any idea what it could be? Dettlaff have any enemies?
Indeed. Dettlaff gains foes occasionally, but they never live long.
One might have managed to evade him.
Possible in theory, but I know of none. It would have to be someone devilishly dangerous. As you well know, having faced Dettlaff yourself, whoever it is someone new.
Who's Renowed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him the time before he came.
These stories often come off as really cliche, but actually, like, in execution, I really, like, enjoy these kinds of, like, love stories, particularly when you're talking about, like, aliens and monsters and vampires, Incredible Hulk, like, these characters, and, like, how, like, the love of a human woman transitions or changes them and, like, keeps them grounded. I actually really like those stories, and I actually think they're fairly realistic to life, so despite it being really cliche, I actually enjoy these kinds of stories.
In my humble opinion, she left on her own, scared off perhaps by a bout of Dettlaff's rage that revealed his other, more monstrous side.
Dettlaff have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing? And Dettlaff is so much more emotional than most humans. Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Dettlaff ever try to find her? I mean, if she was that important. Higher vampires have their ways, all kinds. Should have been easy as pie for him.
Geralt, as you rightly noted, we are vampires, not miracle workers. He searched for months on end before giving up. Clearly Renowed knew him all too well. Enough to cover her tracks, leave no way for him to find her.
Even if Renowed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that, and hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills, for he cares for her deeply.
Oh, you're gonna just bring up my main squeeze from the main game? I actually wonder if I would have picked Triss, Marigold, or one of the other characters if they would have mentioned them instead of Yennefer.
He's out to rescue a female.
I'm actually kind of insulted by that. Like, don't be mentioning my main squeeze from the main game. We're friends for a long time, but we're not that cool, buddy. Don't be talking about Yennefer like that. Not cool.
Need to look around some more.
You made the kind of love you couldn't even fathom, son. Can't just be mentioning the government name.
Really now, Geralt, must you?
Woman's likeness. Bit smudged. That Renowed?
I don't know. As I said, I never met her.
Reminds me of someone.
Who?
Not sure. Can't help feeling I've seen that face before, though. Tools were used recently. Dettlaff unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Really now, Geralt, must you?
Nice tune.
Indeed. I'm not certain why, but it reminds me of home. Our true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Sometimes I think I might end up like one of these toys. Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyrin, Count Delacroix.
Dettlaff's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote the letter. All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in
Nazaire. But I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either. Especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps.
Everyone drinks wine.
But perhaps also
indeed.
worth remembering.
The land of blood and wine.
Blackmailer. Kinda curious who it could be.
Why is that?
Regis. Somebody kidnapped a vampire's lover. Bold to begin with. Now they're forcing the vampire to kill. A vampire you yourself insisted no murderer. Blackmailer's skilled. Someone special.
Astute. Now that I think of it, I'm beginning to wonder if...
It's not one of your kind? Another vampire?
Precisely. The plot thickens.
Just a hypothesis.
The way he just said the plot thickens, I love that accent.
Right, you
Indeed, the plot thickens.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Detlef's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding in his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazeri ink, and not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlef's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Detlef's being manipulated. That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about Detlef?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No. He'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess.
So be it. We'll...
Again, this whole entire area of Tucson, Beauclair, just the entirety of this continent is just gorgeous. And not only is it gorgeous, it's really, really interesting because it's really like a deviation in architecture and design, commonplace in culture, soundtrack, everything else. They rebuilt everything from the ground up for this expansion. It's entirely different than everything that's in the main game, so I mean, it's just incredible. Actually. If I wanted to wear heavy armor, I'm actually a high enough level now I can wear some of this heavy armor I've been holding. But I'm sticking with the Viper armor. I typically don't do heavy armor in video games. I didn't in Skyrim. Not doing it on here. I like medium armor. Usually is for me. I like nimbleness and speed. Again, another one of those just really small things that I feel like people take for granted in video games. It's nice to see children in this game. That's always something I've enjoyed in this game. It really adds to the cognitive dissonance and the immersion, just seeing little kids running around. Like in most video games, because of the violence and the gore, they don't, want to have kids in the game because then it just opens you up to, new criticisms and things you just wouldn't have to worry about otherwise, which, I understand. But it's unfortunate in a lot of cases, and like I said, they do a good job with it on here. Like I can't think of like any situations they've had in this game where any children die or any harm comes to any children. So they've added them in a way that is appropriate and responsible. So I give it up to CD Projekt Red. Just another layer of immersion and depth to this game that really has something to offer, in my opinion. I mean, just look at the architecture. Just look at this castle. I mean, this is just incredible. Incredible. How good this looks. So if you're wondering, I went to that notice board. You go to the notice boards around this game and you pick up side quests. So since I've been in Tucson, I haven't added any new ones that are Tucson exclusive side quests that aren't in the main game. So I picked up a couple of them, and I'm not going to do any of those tonight, of course, but just just to have them in the repertoire if I ever just decide to go do another side quest. Again, you see all the lands in the distance. You can see some of the water in the other vicinity. And the vista to the left and the right. Look at the lighting and how the light reflects off the foliage. It's a really, really, really fascinating game. Just on a technical level, I mean, this is just a master class in open world design. Soundtrack changes when I come in here. I mean, this is just a master class of video game design, ladies and gentlemen. I got the juice. I got the juice. I can just walk in and just talk to the Duchess of Tucson, unannounced. OG.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast, I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster, and you return with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone...
See, this is... I normally take the regal, honorable approach, but I mean, they're totally treating me like an asshole right now.
Garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention, only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once.
I want to kill this guy so bad.
Tell us where to find this monster.
Whoa, this is work for a witcher, not for your guardsmen.
Yet when a witcher fails, my guardsmen must step in. I'll take my best. 40 hardened veterans. No vampire can stand up to that.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How?
This guy is the worst.
What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different, unique or exceptional, you might say. Some
he got in real close, like he was about to give her a kiss.
Communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catechans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason.
That is the worst. It always has to be like a bald meathead who is like scatterbrained and prideful.
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Yeah, impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a...
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free, or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Like, what's the most polite way to tell her that her pearls are just simply lovely and that her golden hair is just something of an inspiration to me? I guess there's no polite way to say that.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher.
I admit to being
right.
swayed, Witcher.
Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop!
She's used to getting stuff
Wine
done.
is
She's in
sacred.
charge. She knows
Maybe
what
there
time
no
it
such
is.
thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Estest, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap.
Witcher. And I love the way everybody's individual accents say that name. Witcher. It's a Witcher. Witcher. Master Witcher.
Yes, yes. The west bank of the Sala, too. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint-Réal, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint-Réal was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Wait, Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while
You gotta respect the woman. She gets stuff done.
Your Grace,
She's not worried
what
about a
you propose
vampire.
is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision.
Again, she knows what time it
We
is.
shall go.
She's like, it's my show,
Captain,
guys.
the best
Like, I'm the
possible
Duchess of
escort.
Tucson. Come on
You,
now.
Captain, and Geralt. We will travel in
Again, I'm still trying to, like, mull
no
the
wish
most
to
polite
be
way to
caught
tell
in
her, like, how
innocent
lovely her pearls and her crown are.
For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to
Give me some dialogue choices, Witcher. Some dialogue
In short,
choices.
From now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace.
Witcher.
Witcher, are you ready?
I love how everyone says it in such, like, a derogatory way.
Excellent.
Like a
Give
mutt
me a
Witcher.
moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
Again, I'm sure we're probably going to another part of this giant continent that was added in the expansion that I haven't been to yet.
Have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
Again, just for the sake of time and protections, we're gonna have a quick auto save in.
Slow now.
Panthers have attacked the wagon. We must help.
Stay back, your blades. We shall see to this.
Help! Save us! You beast! Be gone! Help! Save us! Back, you beast! Be gone!
One down, one to go.
Help! Save us! Back, you
Gonna
beast!
do mind tricks while I wail on him. It's kind of unfair, I know.
Save us!
Again, when you're fighting like basic animals, you can just hack and slash. There's not really any like strategy to it.
Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
They were fortunate
Thank
to
you.
happen by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
And we got an upgrade. Again, I've fully explained my philosophy on meditation. It's like I really try to do all the things in this game during the morning time. In part just because this is like a really creepy game with a lot of creepy enemy types, so I like to do these things during the day, and then also because you can appreciate the world and everything that's going on just much better in the daytime
Tell me
versus
more
at
about
night.
this vineyard, Castel Ravello.
It's the best in Oltusa. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it.
Okay, Roach is being janky. Come on, Roach. There you go. Slowly. It used to be much worse. They've like patched that out a little bit, but it's still a little bit janky here and there. Roach gets weird.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt. The Sonreal stain, how did it wind up on the paper?
Me, Witcher, I can see you're a kid.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed.
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabricio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
And her outfit even here is just bad. She knows what she's doing. She's working it.
Ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
Killing it in the fashion game.
Came to see you. Got some questions.
In this land, it is seen as polite to introduce.
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher.
A
He has
witcher.
come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
With reluctance. Like, I guess. He's kind of a monster and a freak, and we don't really like him, but I don't want to get my head chopped off, so I'm going to do what you say. Reluctantly.
I am at your service.
Code, pretty much.
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but any burglaries lately?
Burglaries? Not to my knowledge. And a few days past I took stock of the inventory. All was accounted for. The barrels lie safely in the cell.
See, these kind of things are less important, so these kind of things I can skip through faster.
Will not get anywhere asking questions.
You're great?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to Son Real. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence!
You don't play. I respect it. I respect the hustle. Get him. Get him.
Thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is this Son Real stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
Like, if I'm this guy, I wonder what the hell you're thinking. It's like, she just scolded you. You made some kind of mistake no matter what. There has to be at least some semi-legitimate fear that your head's gonna get chopped off once this is all over. I mean, even in real life, when you're talking about like this like Renaissance period, like the periods of kings and queens, it's like when you made minor mistakes, you ran the risk of just casually being executed. It's like I couldn't imagine having to live under those confines.
He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me.
Oh, these guys know how to bow. Okay, I dig it. I mean, the reports are not bowing to me, but I'm gonna just pretend they are because I'm Geralt of Rivia and I'm pretty awesome. Yeah, see guys, it's like if I got this kind of hospitality and scaly age in Novigrad, we'd be all good. We'd be all square. Again, do another quick save. I feel like there's gonna be spiders down here or something.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
I'm in the basement just down here stealing wine. Thug life. I'm actually gonna grab a few things before I look at the ledger and continue the story. Down here stealing wine, you know. I mean, again, I'm the Witcher, I'm doing what y'all expect. Y'all hate me anyway. Why not steal the wine? Why not, I say?
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complication. Everything lines up. Ervelous. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is
Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
I don't know why I thought it said the history of porno. I know, get my head out of the gutter, I know. Judge accordingly, audience.
Got Pamino over here. San Real. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
Saint-Réal. Barrels are dated 1268.
Close, but not quite the right year.
Right here, 1269. What now?
That was the last one. That's the one you were looking for the whole time.
For now, a knock will suffice.
Like, I wonder if someone else who knew that could have just skipped past the other ones and just walked straight to that one. Save themselves a little bit of time.
Full. Full. This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Saint-Réal? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start.
Ooh, I get to taste the wine. The wine I've already been looting from. This is just lovely.
Ready.
Step aside.
Oh no, I take that back. She gets to drink it. I guess she is like sort of like the queen, so you know, that makes sense. I mean, I think I should get to drink the wine. I'm the Witcher, man. I fight monsters and zombies and demons and big spiders. The least they could do.
Distinctive. This is Saint-Réal. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone.
This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Someone's about to get executed. Someone's been incompetent. At least incompetent. She slapped the hell out of old boy.
I am very disappointed.
But your grace, I...
You are a step away from losing your head.
Oh, see? I was right. Execution and get beheaded. I was totally right.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Saint-Réal.
You monster. You out here hustling the wine?
Did you do it?
Don't get high on your own supply, man. It's in Scarface. Everyone learned that lesson.
The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back
Nothing like greed, ladies and gentlemen. Let this be a lesson to you all. Don't get high on your own supply. Well, in this case, don't sell your own supply on the side. I say she beheads him. I mean, I'm team beheading for this guy. This is just unacceptable, shameful.
Everything, if you agree to show me mercy.
You agree to show me mercy? You're in an own position to make a deal, man. You're getting your head. You're getting beheaded either way.
I beg you, your grace, you must forgive me.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Saint-Réal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name...
One of Sangriel is supposed to be like
He never
sangria, which is
He was
very good.
tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrian aristocrat at court.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? At the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Centrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
Alright, I was actually going to call it here, but I think I'll do this quest really fast, and I think I'll end it after I finish this one. I'll end it off with a bang. Might as well just go ahead and do this real quick.
Watch for my signal.
Seems cruel to kind of end the stream mid-quest, so yeah, I'll go ahead and do this quest. Or finish this quest, I should say.
Relax. Now we wait.
Ah, our favorite vintner.
I feel like very shortly I'm going to be killing all of these guys. I think that's a safe assumption.
It's not him.
Old boy dropped the dime on you guys. I always wonder what it's like for those people in those situations where it's like you've clearly been snitched on and you're the last ones to find out about it. It's like I can't imagine that's a fun feeling. Again, this is almost unfair. These poor bandits. I'm about to do so much damage to them with these bombs. Wait, did I die? Oh, an exploding barrel. They totally robbed me of that.